Hey, what's going on? This is your girl, Miss Analytical. I'm coming to you once again on this Friday early morning in NYC. So, for the past couple of months, I've been noticing the transformation of Chloe Bailey. From this young girl with dreads who's musically talented to pretty much doing the raunchy movements on Instagram, Twitter. We'll post it on Twitter, and the video, have mercy. It's one thing for a young woman to really be sensual and even exude sexuality while she's performing. There's one thing. But it's another to cross the line when you're going extra hard to appeal sexy for probably your audience, your handlers, for men, whoever. I think Chloe is going down the wrong path. Chloe doesn't need to. She's really talented. But we have to be honest as to why she's doing this. If this was 2006, she wouldn't have to. And I'll tell you why. Because they would have been able, and I'm including her sister in this, selling records. Chloe is doing this because Chloe does not sell records or units. Have Mercy was supposed to be big. But Have Mercy stalled and is now only a top 40 song. That is sad because Chloe could have been really having a really big momentum. And I feel that if Chloe was out in the 2000s era, Chloe wouldn't have to do this. It's really sad because the industry is not the industry anymore. And that's what people are failing to realize. This is not the industry that we saw growing up. If you were born in the 80s, 70s, 60s, if you were born in the 90s, early 90s. She's born in 98. So by the time she was coming up as an adolescent, she really missed the glory days of being able to sell double platinum units, triple platinum units. People can't even go gold now. It's really sad because of streaming services, the internet. And she's doing this for staying power. But it's backfiring because it's showing that no matter what, if people aren't going to buy your music, Chloe, if they're not going to listen to your music, you can take off your clothes and wear pasties on stage. Nobody's going to care. And that's the reality. The music industry is done. And the only way you would have to be able to bring it back, but you can't, you would have to bring it back in a way where you would have record CDs being sold, not just at Target, not just at Walmart, because I believe they sell music also. But you would have to have music sold in every store, department store that exists. I never understood why Macy's never really sold music like the others did. Best Buy used to sell music at one time. You don't even have a lot of Best Buys anymore. Let me see who else. Kmart is gone. And that's another problem. If department store, if these music companies, music labels have people sell music and buy music, because people will buy a CD, because Taylor Swift proved that in 2014 with her album 1989. She sold in hard copies 7 million units. She sold 7 million. She proved that you can still sell records, but you got to have a team. And a lot of these teams, they're thinking about streaming services only, and they're not thinking about still the foundation, which is you got to actually make that hard copy. Because streaming, from what I'm understanding, you have to play at least 50% of the song to get money. Whereas if somebody buys your album, you get that, you get the sale. But streaming, you have to be able to stream at least 50% of the song. And if you're streaming an album, it has to be 50% of the album that you're streaming. Most people ain't streaming albums like that. Because if you hear songs like, oh, I don't like that, I don't like it, oh, I like it, I don't like it, oh, I don't want to hear it right now, you're not going to get that money. And then you got the Wax 360 deals, which we didn't have those back in the 90s. That's, something else that is causing a lot of people not to really go hard with music promotion because there's no money made. These contracts are slave contracts. But with Chloe Bailey, her team has to halt this thing with the raunchiness because it's not working. And the tampon incident, that was sad. And when the girl said she didn't even remember licking the mic, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, she was in the moment, but she doesn't have to do this. And it's just tragic. It's just tragic. And my advice to her, you have a pretty good acting resume. Stick with the acting. And try to do Broadway. Try to do, what else? Not just Broadway, tour, do national tours, but the record industry is not for everybody recording wise. And when you have an acting resume and you have steady work in that's the best thing. And you could see on Chloe's face that she's not really happy. She doesn't really want to do this. And when she put the lollipop in her mouth, that shit was the worst ever. I'm sorry, but the way she was putting it in her mouth, it was like an invitation for really getting down. And she doesn't have to do this. She's a very attractive young lady. She doesn't have to be like that. She doesn't. And also too, with the dreads, I've always felt that women with dreads should never have to resort to, well, they do. But I'm going to rephrase that. Women with dreads who act slutty or do raunchy things, that's like the worst look ever. I'm sorry. Every girl that I've known that has done this, they have gotten so disrespected. They look as if they're trying hard to fit in with guys because they feel that guys will like them more if they look a certain way. Because I'm sure growing up, with her having dreads, there were a lot of guys that weren't attracted to her because let's keep it real. It's unfortunate that a lot of men and young boys who are black, they don't really gravitate to women and young girls that wear their hair natural. So I'm sure that she's dealing also with being rejected as a teen. That whole rejectionness of, having like somebody you're attracted to. I get that from her. I don't get that from her sister Haley, but I get that from her. And that could be another reason why she's doing this, because she probably wants the attention as well. But my advice to her, Chloe, Elizabeth Bailey, end of the day, it's not worth it. You will look back and you will hate yourself for this. Stay wholesome. You're 23, but just because you're 23 doesn't mean you have to just, smut it out or appeal to look like that or appeal to do those things. Keep it cute, classy. You can be sexy, but keep it cute and keep it classy. It's just too much, and you don't want your legacy to go down like this. And this is me signing off. Miss Ann Little Cool. Thank you for enjoying the commentary. You can comment on YouTube. You can subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, like. Also follow me on Spreaker. Also, I'm on Anchor. I'm also on Spotify. And take care.